That was funny.
Um,
All right, yeah, thank you, Kana Boy, for being here. Actually, it's crazy because I don't know your real name. I only know your stage name. So I think it
all
would be
right,
dope if you can just like introduce yourself, tell us who you are and what you are about, what brings you to the podcast today.
all right. So my name is Jeffrey Minyaradzi Junior Gotora, and yes, I'm a producer. I do make beats. I think I started making beats around if I'm not mistaken 2015. That's when I got interested in the software and started learning, and since then till now, yeah, I'm still.
So my question is it all self-taught? Like you didn't go to like any formal education to learn what you're doing? Like how did you, what happened? Yeah, what's the story?
What happened is actually for me, music has always been like a part of my life. Like my brother, my big brother, he plays instruments, like a lot of instruments. So he's the one who taught me how to play drums. So I always used to play drums. I played drums in a band at my high school and stuff. But like for the software, it was actually like this friend of mine. I actually called him a brother because he came a long way. Like he's the one who was affiliated with the studio things. So most of the time when cause I was born in Kwekwe, like in Kwekwe, in same. I was born in Kwekwe in Zimbabwe. Then my sister had a husband in Harare, so most of the holidays I used to travel to go to Harare. So that's when I met this friend of mine, and for him, I don't know, at the young like at his young age, he was being like he was a producer in a studio. It was called X Factor. So most of the time I used to go with him. And whenever he was working on some projects, I still remember like I used to just say, "Oh, bruh, what if you like give him ideas? What if you edit like this type of sound and that?" So he's the one who always said, "Man, you should learn how to. Man, you should, because you always give me some ideas." And for me, when I looked at him when he was working, it really looked like something which was too complicated for me. So I don't know, like for him, he found a way, sort of like to make me interested in the software. Because most of the time he would just say, "Yo, bro, I wanna do something. So you do this, you just do this." Then I started learning, and from there, I still remember I started asking questions. "Yo, bro, so how do you do this?" And from then the
It
rest
was
was history.
just yeah. That's a pretty dope story. And I think that's a pretty dope story because a lot of the time, the places we end up is very much influenced by the people around us. Like it's either your father, your mother, brother, sister, or friend who's in that same space, and you kind of see them do the things and they encourage. And I think I'm glad you ended up where you are because I love your sound, bro. Like, kind of voice sound
Man,
is
thanks, man. Yeah, actually,
insane.
I just wanted also to say, man, I really appreciate what you're doing, man. Like, like for me, it's this my first time, like to just have someone who just reach out, like, I just want to have a chat, to know stuff like it's really something like that which don't happen like all the time, because most of the time it's just like the other side, like music side and stuff, not anybody who just. So I really appreciate what you're doing, and I think a lot of creatives like out there really really need people like you, like to reach out and talk to them and see what's on. So yeah,
I dig that. I
I really
appreciate it.
appreciate it.
I love that it's reaching people that way, and I think that's the whole point of the podcast. Um, not I think generally it's to reach out to content creators, but I do feel like there's certain content creators who aren't given a platform to speak. We're not trying to make them rich, we're not trying to do anything or give them an award, but we're just trying to hear their story because I feel like there's so much that they can offer from what they've experienced. I think I said it to you when I reached out to you. um, and for me, your music I heard first through Kae Chaps. um, uh, uh, I heard first through Kae Chaps, and I think Kae Chaps kind of took a rise, and there was always Kanaboy right in the beginning there, and I'm like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? I think on his last album, you probably worked on a couple songs with him, and for me, those were my best. Those were my favorites. So I told him, I'm like, yo, dude, I like this producer guy, like, could you link me up? He ended up sending me your number. So I appreciate the link. But I think what I would want to know is, was this a space you kind of always saw yourself in? I know you said you grew up around music and whatnot, but growing up, who did you want to be? What profession did you want to be in when you were younger?
Yeah, I can say like for me music, like I told you, bro, like 2015, very early. That's when I really started like getting into stuff. So for me, music, I actually wanted to be an artist, like to sing and um I could tell you a couple of joints. I think maybe one song which is on YouTube, but I'm not really proud of it because it was
Please
way
send us
back.
the link after
And
this. Please send us the link after this. That's between you and me, my
but I'm
man.
not proud of it because
Yeah.
it became like how can I say? Because I wasn't proud of my voice to some extent. Every time I could hear my track, I wasn't so. So it so happened that at the same time I was trying to take this career of being an artist and also trying to learn a lot of things on the production side. So it came to a time when I sat down with myself and I just found out, no, man, like I can't be a jack of all trades. I gotta focus on one thing and perfect it and be good at it. What do I really love doing? I said, man, I like making beats, so let me just focus on that. That's when I kind of pull out and I started focusing like on my production side. And yeah, I for the singing side, I wasn't really proud of it. Trust me, you don't
I
want
dig
to hear
that.
the
I dig
tracks.
that.
You don't want
I
to,
dig that.
yeah.
No, it makes sense, and I think it takes a lot of maturity to be able to be in a space where you realize what you're not good at, and you focus on what you're good at. And like you're saying, being a jack of all trades, I've seen it, and there's for me personally, like there's nothing wrong with it, but I do think you serve yourself better when you humble yourself enough to say, "Oh, hey, this I'm not good at. Let me try and focus all my energy into something that I am good at, and try and deliver, optimum 100% work in that." And it's probably not easy, especially if you grow up wanting to be something, growing up seeing all these people doing these things, and in your head you're like, yeah, I want to be a musician, and then only realizing that it's probably not your boat. But for you, you're like, okay, it's not my boat. What next? You made a plan, you kind of assessed what was around you, and you're like, okay, but I'm good at making beats. Let's focus on that. I think we can learn a lot from that because more often than not, when you're not good at something, you want to give up, leave creativity, quote unquote, completely, which is not always the case. I feel like there's always something for someone, and it takes a little patience and a little learning and experience.
Yeah, a lot. Like, yeah, you really have to, put in work and because I still remember, I don't know how to say. For me, for me to have my own laptop, which I say this is my own laptop. I had my own laptop, 2020. Sounds funny, but all the learning and all whatever I was doing, like to relearn, I used to use friends' laptop. Like I had friends who who really believed in me to an extent that they could give me their machine all the time. Like, yo, bruh, I feel like you need it more than I do. Here's the machine. The next day he might come, the next day he might come. Yo, man, what did you make? Play some for me. Playing, like I just said, people were so supportive. So I don't know how to say. And sometimes I would have a laptop, which I know anytime a person can come and tell you, yo, bro, I need it. I have to do this. So every time I was making stuff, I had to learn quickly. I had to finish up some stuff, range it up and stay with it because you never know when the owner will come and take it. So yeah, I actually had my own laptop, which I said my own laptop in I think
2020.
2020. Yeah.
So, but that's an empowering story. It's like because a lot of the time I know that's actually a really good story. I love that and I appreciate that about you. And thank you for sharing because I'm now thinking about my creative journey. And I used to always I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be a content creator. I knew I wanted to make content. I wasn't really sure about what, but I think not knowing what I wanted to do wasn't the problem. The problem was I kept procrastinating, telling myself I don't have the right gear. Because what I was doing now was I was looking at everyone in the space and I was like, hey, Ningi's got a camera like this. Ningi's got a laptop like this. A small one kangu and my camera is not good enough. And my lights, you know what I'm saying? So for me, what you did was like, I'm not going to let anything stop me. And I'm going to work on this thing. And I'm going to use what's around me, you know? And like, that is so empowering and that is so encouraging. And obviously, I think it makes your successes so much more sweeter now when you're able to say, flip, after 5 years, now I've got my own laptop. That feels different. That's a lot.
It feels, it actually feels different. Like, I don't know how to say it, but man, like for me, I don't know how I've always had this attitude. I can't say it's pride. Like, I think a lot of people who know me from like way back, like some, if you didn't know me by then, because I used to like talk a lot, like tell myself, yo man, like in our language, you know, in Dagapengasha, like that kind of self. I don't know.
Get you.
I used
I
to
get
always,
you.
and yeah, you know, sometimes we'll be invited to like, because some of my friends will even tell the other guys, yo, I have this friend, what, that is really good. So bring him to the studio. Go in the studio. Yo, how can you make a man? I do make beats on top. Who's this kid who talks too much? Okay, sit there, make something. And for sure, you know, you get on it. And okay, so that's how it was back then. But with growing up, you know, you start, you start
calming down a little bit.
Yeah, but obviously, like you just have to have that in you, because nobody will tell you that. Like, you know, a lot of people will say a lot of things, and if you listen to people, not yourself, it only leads you to nowhere. So
I dig that attitude,
feel like-
Ekuti, and I know you said it's not a pride thing, but I think your biggest supporter is yourself, but at the same time, your biggest critique is yourself. So the one person that's actually going to lift you up and encourage you and motivate you is yourself. But you're also the person who can bring yourself down if you're not careful. You know,
if you're not careful,
exactly.
That's
you know,
true.
if you're not confident enough in your work, if you keep comparing yourself with others, you bring yourself down. No one else is responsible for that but you. So I think your mindset and your attitude of looking at your work and saying, man, no, I'm really good at what I do, and being able to put yourself in a conversation where no one's heard your work and you're not really sure, but just like, yo, I can do it. And then you put yourself out there and you keep learning that way. Dude. that's amazing. And I think I only hope and pray that you continue to grow and you continue to get the success that you deserve in life, and God keeps blessing you, because I do appreciate your attitude and your work ethic, which is absolutely impeccable. Yeah, but like I said, I'm a big Kana Boy fan. I've been around the internet, I've been around the YouTube, listening to different Kana Boy sounds.
Which really, I don't know how to say, because you know, it's something which really, I don't know, motivate me, like to, you know, to even work more. Like, you know, you know, like you have people who are watching, who are listening to you. And for me, I'm used to, you know, isolation. So me make here and there. Sometimes you don't even feel like I'm gonna say, you don't even feel like sitting down in your, you know, studio setup and make something. You're just not in the mood and stuff like that. But when you hear some people, like it's really like gives you that, I don't know, that boost. Like, hey, I got people listening, so man, let me try. And,
I think.
So,
I think we need that. We need that as content creators, bro. We need to know that our work is doing something to some people. It definitely keeps us motivated, keeps us pushing, because it does get tiring. Like creative block is a
gets
thing.
tiring.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like from my own side, like from the producer side, like, you know, for your works to be heard out there, like for your works, for people to know you out there, you have to put in work. Like your beats, people have to sing on your beats and actually make good music on your crew beats. And when it goes out there, people can listen, and that's how people can get to know you and stuff. So it's really hard, you know, to like producers. I feel like sometimes really face like those type of challenges for you to, you know, even to really like get a good relationship with the artist. sending beats for him to even like your beats, to record on your beats for them to. So yeah, it's really, I don't know how to say it, but it's all up in here. So,
Now that you're talking about challenges for producers, I think for you personally, what has been the toughest challenge or toughest challenges in your creative career since 2015 till about now? What's the one thing that you feel, oh, this was a little bit difficult to kind of get over?
um, firstly, I think I'll talk about like for you to even get an artist like to send beats, you know, because firstly you have to reach out to a person, and most of them maybe they don't even know some of the people you have worked with or have ever heard your beats and stuff, and sometimes they won't even like how can I say, they won't even get back to you. Like if you reach out, yo, I do make beats, my name is blah blah, if okay, how can I, how can I send you some beats? If you do like the beats, you can get back to me or we can work and stuff like that. Like you try to reach out, and some won't even like reach back. Some will do, like not all of them, but some won't. And the other one is like you can have artists, you send beats, like you can make a beat pack. You say, okay, fine, I'm gonna make maybe 14 beats and send these beats to this person. You make the beats, you send the beats to the artist. Then after some time, you can go maybe for months. The artist won't even like how can I say, won't even reach back to you to tell you maybe, okay, bro, this beat, I like it, I'm doing something or what. They won't say anything. Then after maybe 6 months, and you have already had another artist who came maybe and say, oh, bro, I need some beats and stuff. And you check maybe in your, in your folders, you see, these beats, I have made them like maybe 5 months ago. And like, it's better I just send this guy, let me send this guy. And when you send this guy, that person now comes back also and say, yo, about this, now you have to explain. And it can ruin relationships. Like, bruh, you didn't tell, like,
communication.
So so I just figured a way like, yo, bruh, please. And every time you send beats, you just at least you just gotta tell the person, please, if you're working on this, please just let me know if there's a beat which doesn't have to go to another person, because sometimes it really gets messy. Like you can end up ruining up relationships because
I mean, it's difficult and it's a real one. Even for me, I can definitely relate just a little bit to reaching out to people because for me, I can't have the podcast without guests. So I definitely do have to reach out to people. I'm always like constantly reaching out, and I do know that feeling of just silence. Like you see them read your messages, you see them the blue tick or whatever it is, Instagram. You see that they seen your message, but they just don't respond, and you're like, yo, did I do something wrong? But I think the consistency of continuing to push and not letting that bring you down, because people get busy lives. I don't know what that person's going through. I don't know what's going on in their life. Sometimes I feel like I'm narudada, you know what I mean? But I'm in no position to know what it is they're going through. But because of your consistency and your persistence, keep continuing to send, beat packs, continuing to reach out, you've sort of built a name for yourself. You sort of acclaimed yourself as a music producer that people know and people are starting to love and enjoy. And for you, what was your breakthrough? Like from 2015 to 2021, what projects do you feel like, this project is the one that really did change me and put me into that creative space community where people knew Kutia existed? Is there any one significant one?
To be honest, because the project which I can say where I really had a breakthrough, like when I started working with Kae Chaps, like on the album, because I still remember we were there's this group which I'm in, like it has a lot of creatives, like sound engineers, beat makers, they're like producers, and some artists come inside and go and all that stuff. So I still remember this other, like he's like a mentor, like he's one of the guys I used to ask a lot, like, man, this sound is doing this. How do I like? He always help me out. So he's the one who even reached out to me. Yo, bro, there's this kid in the group. His name is Kae Chaps. Can you reach out to him and give him beats? I'm working with him, and he's really talented. Like, it's really dope. It's like, and he said, I feel like you can come up with something, just reach out and send some beats. I said, okay, bro. I reached out, and Kae Chaps, really cool guy. No problems. First time, yo, what's up? What's up? I got beats. Send them through. So I still remember we faced some challenges on like when we started, because I didn't really know like his sound. So you have to find out his sound first, so you know the type of beats you can send him. So I still remember I had this song. I don't know, maybe it was taken down from his page. This Anawando Tumandwet and Dega, if I'm not mistaken.
I think I've heard it. I think I've heard it.
Yeah, so it's like a trap hardcore song. So
yes,
that's the picture I had. So I still remember I said, I'm like, a big pack of 5 beats, and they were all like,
hard ones.
Yeah, they were all like hardcore, hard beats. I waited. I still remember it was after 2 weeks he got back to me. It was like, bruh, I recorded 1 beat on the 5 beats you sent me, and I was like, 1 beat? But it was
one
like,
only.
to be honest, yeah. And it was like, to be honest, bruh, like, I'm not even happy with like the outcome, like what I got. Can you send me other vibes or stuff? And I was like, okay, fine. Let me see what I can do. So now I still remember I told myself, I know it's better when I'm making beats, I can just, record like those type of voice notes. You just record, send. Anytime I'm making a beat, if he says now he likes it, then I send the beat. So I still remember that's the time when I send him this. There was this beat in his album, if I'm not mistaken, with R Pills, Created This Time. I recorded that one when I was making it. Then I recorded the Makua beat. There were 2 I record. Then I still remember the moment I just finished sending, he then like caught the audio for, was it Makua? Then he said, I love this one. Send this one.
That's my vibe. That's my vibe.
Then I was like, if you still remember, they created this. I just sent the Created This Time beat, but he wants like this.
You want this one?
This one, and by that time it wasn't even finished. Like it was just a melody, snare, some hats, and kicks.
There wasn't much on it.
Yeah, so now I'm confused. Like, okay, fine. I rendered that. It was a snippet, like a minute something. I just sent. I was even like, I don't know. Then I still remember it was maybe 3-4 days. He sent me back like this short version, like with vocals. And I'm like, whoa, hold on. What's going on here? I still remember that's the first song I released with them, and that was my breakthrough, Makua. Then I even told him, yo man, can you post some breaks on this one? Let me really now work on it. Then that's when I finished it up and sent him the full beat. Then the rest is history.
Wow, that is a beautiful story. I love it so much. And we never get to know the things that happen behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Like, to know the final production, but we don't know the back and forth that goes on to into having these 2 people link up and mash up. The trial and error. Like you're saying, you sent him a beat and he was like, this is not my thing. And you had to reinvent and kind of figure it out. And I think it's also difficult because you're so far away. You're not in the same space. But I think because of the gift of technology, thank God, we are still able to somewhat communicate effectively
meet up people.
Exactly, which is super dope. And I love that. But now that you're speaking, I'm just hearing a lot of different things. And the one thing I picked up on was you made a type of beat for him that really wasn't for him. And then you kind of had to change and be more versatile. And I've seen that in your beats. Like I was saying, I've listened to a lot of your music and it's all different. Like recently, I listened to one of the tracks by Chief Chino and I'm like, this is drill. This is UK drill beat that you just made, bro. So you're definitely a versatile individual, but like, how would you describe your sound? personally, I can't even tell people what kind of a producer you are because you are everywhere. You can do anything. But how would you describe your sound?
Um, like this is the first question that someone has asked me, and I don't really know what to say.
You don't know what to say, right?
Like, okay, let me put it like this, because for me, like, I have had, like, because I'm in school right now, and I've had like a long time just like being isolated, like being myself, and I'm that type of person who likes, maybe I can say, to challenge himself, because I do listen to a lot of music. So the moment I started to listen to drill, I told myself, no, I want to know how to make these beats. I can go on and start practicing until I know how to make the beats. I listen to Mumba tone. I would want to know how to make it. I would go in, practice until I know how to. I listen to any type of genre of music. Like, I don't know. I just challenge myself to, to see where it can take me. Like, but for me, honestly, I think right now I can make I can make a lot of sounds. I can make a lot of sounds.
Yes, you
Like,
can.
I
I
can.
don't doubt that. I've seen it. I've seen it.
I
I've seen
can.
it.
I try to challenge myself, just to,
Mm. So you're not one guy to turn a job down. So if someone comes and they're like, "This is the kind of space I'm in. Can you please make something happen?"
Any vocals. Sometimes I get a lot of different vocals. Like, a person can just send me vocals, like already recorded vocals. Like, they told me, "Oh man, I've made this song, but it was on a beat. I didn't like it." They just send me. I can tell that person, look, for me, I experiment a lot. Expect anything, and they can just give me a go ahead. Like, yo, bro, do whatever you gotta do. Tell them, okay, go sit with it, and whatever comes up to my mind first, and it sounds dope, I make it. I make whatever it is that I'm thinking at that very moment. Then I say,
You send it through. Yo, that's a gift, bro. That's a talent. That's what you have. You've got a good ear, and I thank God for you and what He's given you and how you're using your talent, bro. Like, honestly, it's absolutely amazing. And like I said earlier, I pray that He continues to bless you with wisdom, with knowledge, and with all the resources that you need to continue to grow.
yeah,
Um,
thanks, man. I really
mm.
appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, and I think you
Mm.
just mentioned now, I didn't know this personally, but you just mentioned that you are in school and like, what's that dynamic like trying to focus on school and the demanding side of school and then also trying to balance the demanding side of music? Like, how are you making
Man,
that
man,
happen?
it's hard.
How's that
I
experience
don't,
been?
I don't wanna lie to you. It's hard. I still remember the Kae Chaps album, when we were making it, because if I'm not mistaken, I think I made 7 tracks in the album. I made 7 tracks, and those times I was also like having exams, and so
Tense,
trying to
man.
trying to balance.
Mm.
You're trying to balance this side, and you're trying to balance that side. So sometimes it can be really tough, like, mentally, like, you'll be off, like, you can try to sit on the machine, try, like, you'll be just not be, but at the end, like, I feel like it only takes, like, you gotta train your
Mentality.
mindset. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, your mindset is what
straight
matters,
up.
because if you tell yourself, nah, I don't wanna, you won't. But if you tell yourself, man, you gotta do this, after this you gotta do this, like, you gotta have priorities, like, you gotta have a routine, something like that.
I love
So
that. I
so
love
that's
that.
why
Having
it
a
is. I
routine.
don't know. Yeah, it is challenging, but it's something that you can, enjoy. So
Oh, of course, and I love that the aspect of a routine, the aspect of priorities, like chicha kosha right now,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Cause
mm,
cause for me, like, I like, if it's something that you really love, to do, and you know that, like, this is something I want to do for the rest of my life. That's something you have to do every day, because, you have to upgrade and learn more stuff, and so you gotta have time for it. It's something you just have, not the whole day, but it's something you just gotta have like time for it, like at least once a day. You just gotta. That's what I just do. Like there's a time where I just told myself, okay, let me do this.
Until I've heard they've said that if you really want to be good at something, I think they said you need to put something like 10,000 hours into it before you really like have mastered this thing. So what you're saying makes sense, even if it's once a day. Set aside time to continue to grow. Because I think, for me, speaking from a personal level, you kind of reach a point in your creative career where you think, "Watch Baba," and the temptation is to stop practicing. The temptation is to stop challenging yourself. But for you, you've already said that you love challenging yourself. Yeah, you heard that drill beat and you're like, I'm going to learn how to do drill. And you were on your laptop and you were learning and you were researching and you were learning until you got it, which I love. And I think I need that kind of mentality for myself. So I'm definitely learning a lot from you right now. It's just that you can't stop growing. No matter how much you've been in the game, no matter how much you've achieved, you don't stop growing. Yeah.
Yeah, like I always tell myself, if I am, how can I say, it's like if I'm the most, okay, like Kanandiri, like the best in the room, I'm in the wrong room. Like I need to be in a room where I'm with people that I can ask questions, like I need to be in a room where I put myself behind the chair and ask and grow, not to be in a room where I don't like to be in that space. So if I'm in a room where I feel like, no, I'm the best in here, no, I'm in the wrong room. So yeah,
I dig that. That's a Mao mentality. I need to write that down, right? Flip. We need to quote you on that one, right? To trademark that statement. That's dope. That's dope. That could turn into a book. You should probably think about writing a book. No, I love that, and it makes sense. It makes sense because there's a lot of I guess negative connotations that can come with that. Like if you are the best in the room, it's very easy for you to get big headed. It's very easy for you to relax and think that you've made it. It's very easy for you to think to be the light star of the show. And you don't, as someone who intends to grow, that's not how you grow. That environment won't help you grow. You know what I mean? So, Flip, I've never heard that before, but I'm definitely gonna stick and hold on to that statement. I dig it a lot, and I appreciate you sharing that. And then now I'm just thinking, Kuti, you're in school, but then there's also this music thing. The question that comes to mind is, what happens after school? Do we hold on to the degree and take that into the corporate world? I don't know what you're studying. I have no idea. Or do you stick to music, and music is like your life now? Like this is what we're trying to do with our lives.
Yeah, that's one of the questions which I myself ask myself, and still struggling to really, because like music for me is something that I love, and even if I'm having a bad day or so,
It's
like
your escape.
something that it's my escape. Yeah, it's my escape. Like it's something I don't know. I don't force it. It happens. I'm depressed. I'm depressed. I can come and sit down and use that depression to make some sounds and come out with the sound which is, you understand. So for me, like I have tried so many times to run away from it, but it always finds its way to me, and so it's something I know I'll never like say I have. I don't know. I've left behind. It's always gonna be part of me. So for me, music, I'm always gonna do music, but on degree wise, after finishing and all that, because actually I'm in my last year, so
okay.
After
Congrats for making it this far, bro. Flip.
Hey man, thanks, bro. It's not easy.
Congrats for making it this far. It's not easy, man.
It's not easy, man. Like but yeah, something which is gonna be just like a part of me. But for my degree and other stuff, I'm gonna find my way while when I'm just elevating and moving on with life and growing up. So
I hope so. I hope to see you elevate. I hope to see you keep continuing to move, especially in the music space, bro. Like I'm saying, your talent is impeccable, and I think it's only a matter of time before we start having to reach you through your secretary, booking appointments.
Hope so.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up.
Hope so, bro.
Nah, I dig that. But I also realized, like I'm saying, I've known about you for a little over a year now. And when I did bump into you initially, the page Kana Sound did actually not exist. So Kana Sound is a recent thing. I saw it on Instagram. So please tell me a little bit more behind that idea. So you've separated your personal page from the business page, and now there's Kana Sound and this whole thing going on. Like, what's happening with that? What is it, and what do you hope it can become?
All right. Actually, like Kana Sound, it's something that I have always had with me. Like, how can I say it? Like, from where I'm from, I have like other friends who make beats, dope beats. Like sometimes we exchange projects. You know, we have an idea. You can just, yo, bro, can you finish this up? Sometimes I have something I made. I even know if I give it to this guy. So it's like something that I have always told myself, like I would want to have like a group of creatives where we know, like, you know, if any artist need production and whatever, what so you just come to Kana Sound and you will get what you need. Because trust me, there are a lot of creatives like whom I know, like a lot of people don't know, but those guys are really talented.
Talented. Wow. Flip. I
I
love
just
that.
hope like
So it's like a marketplace for musicians. So they just go like they're walking into a supermarket and then they're like, okay, can I listen? Can I listen? Can I listen?
yeah, it's
Snap.
something like that which I'm trying
Snap.
to like to put up. Like the moment you hit that email and you are hooked. So it's still in the process. It's not yet, but I'm just, I know, like, cause right now we are not a lot. I think we're just 3 people. Like, but I know with time, I just hope with time everything will line up.
I love that. I love that. I love to see that. And I think I always say this, and I say it, most of the people that I've had on this podcast, it's crazy that a lot of them have been through so much, and have fought through so much almost by themselves. But once they've had a breakthrough and once they're almost steady or in a better place, their first instinct is to give back to the community. And I'm like, flip, what is up with all these people? You know, that's literally what you're doing, bro. You're giving back to this community, and it's like 6 years into your career, which is, I mean, a significant time, but not long. It's not long. It's like when we really look at
Yeah,
it.
it's not like, man, I still have a void, like a gap, which I know, cause you know, I'm not full time. Like I even know my potential. Like I'm not full time, like in this thing for now. What I know, I'm not really like hands on, like on music. It's I gotta share my time, but I know I have a gap which I definitely have to, you know, to fill. So yeah,
No,
hopefully it's time.
I pray it grows. I pray it definitely develops into what you need it to be. And I can't wait to see this community grow and for this network to continue to grow. And for you to start saying, Pachakatanga, 23. And now there's a multitude of you, you know, all across the world in different spaces in different countries as well. But what I would like to know is, because your sound is so distinct and it's so vast, it's so wide and broad. I really do feel there's no sound you can't recreate, but it's like, what did you listen to growing up? Like, what sound inspired you when you were younger?
Yo, man. For me, even up till now, I listen to a lot of music. I tell you, if you hear some of the tracks I'll be listening to, you'll be like, I don't know.
Is this? There's
yeah,
no synergy. It's all different.
like I won't lie, like I'll be saying names like I listen to no I'm not that type of person. I love music. I listen to a lot of music. Like I get inspiration from some music which you can even say, huh? Like even if I tell you, this beats like to be honest, like I listen to a lot. I wouldn't even want to lie to you because if I start saying no, I listen to, I will be lying. I will be lying, bro. Like I listen to a lot, like different type of from different types of countries, different languages. Some songs I don't even know what people like, what the person is saying.
I can relate to that, bro.
I just love what
but
I'm
that
listening
sound,
to.
yeah.
Because for me, it came to an extent like, because growing up, yes, I listened to just, but now, like for me, when I listen to music, it's kind of weird because I listen to a lot of things, like I want to hear, okay, what's this sounding? Okay, this, like, I'm too, I don't know. Like, so
you're always in your creative zone, in your mind, trying to analyze the beats. It's not a bad thing. I love that.
I don't know. So it's weird. I know. Like, I still remember this other friend of mine came to my room. I was putting on, like, it was on loudspeakers, like this other song. I was like, bruh, what are you listening to? Just like, man, I don't know. I just came, like, I was watching this other series, this movie. Then I heard it was like a backtrack which will be playing in the bed.
I do the exact same thing.
Then I used Shazam.
And then you're like Shazam.
Exactly. I used Shazam. Then I got the track. Then after that,
I literally do the same thing. I understand exactly what you're talking about. I'd be watching a movie, watching a series, or it's an advert on YouTube, literally, and I'm like, flip, what is the song, bruh? And then I try and Shazam it. And the worst part is when Shazam doesn't pick it up. Then I'm like,
yo. Right.
And I'm like,
you can go on Google, type the name of the movie. This sound.
And then you search the track list.
Then you play one by one until you find it.
One by one. Going through the whole list. No, I take that. And I understand. I think music is a very big part of my life as well. And unfortunately I can't sing, I can't make beats, but I love music. I think it's been an escape, not just for me, but for a multitude of people in the world, man. Like, music has done a lot to speak to us and drive us and pick us up in different situations. And for me, every time I'm asked, it's very difficult for me to say as well, I'm a hip hop fan, I'm an R&B fan, I'm an Afrobeat. You kind of pick up my phone and there's every kind of sound, every kind of genre from every kind of country. I recently bumped into this Russian artist and I'm like jamming to his beats and people are like, what are you listening to, bro? And I'm like, but that's it with the sound. Like it's all different. It's all unique and it speaks to me in a way. It's unique. It's different. It's something I've never heard. And that's, I think, what kind of draws me to that. So when you say you don't have a specific set of music you listen to, I understand and I can definitely relate. It makes sense. It does make sense. And I wanted to know why the name Kana Boy. Like, what does Kana Boy stand for and how did you come up with it? Like, I'm interested to know.
It's pretty a funny story. Like I told you when we started the interview, like I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to be a singer, and I still remember, like, I changed my name a lot. Like, I changed my name a lot. I still remember when I started, when I started, I used to have this funny name. What was his name? I used to call myself Barcode. Yeah. Barcode. It's really a funny story, bro. I used to call myself Barcode. Then after that, I still remember this other friend of mine started like to, mocking me like, oh, Barcode doesn't really sound
it's
cool.
Not working, bro.
Yeah. Then I said, what if I remove this bar and just say coded? Yeah, coded sounds cool. Then I started calling myself Coded. So now I still remember I when I was making beats, there was this friend of mine, like from way back, he used to say, "Yo, your beats, man, they're too, African, man, like African hip hop." I don't know what he used to say until he started say he used to start. Yeah, he started calling me Africana beats. Yo, Africana beats, Africana beats. Then from that moment, now I started like, okay, Africana beats. No, if I'm to have some, what can Africana. Africana, Africana.
That is
Then
creative.
from
Okay.
Africana, that's when I said no, Kana Boy. Yeah, what a
Kana
Boy.
is, it just rolls off the tongue. It's easy.
From
it's easy.
there, that's when I just started calling myself. No, I make beats. No, this. Then I even told myself, no, those names were for me when I wanted to be. I can't call myself the names which I was calling myself when I still wanted to,
Let's change it up.
Let me change it up. Now I'm
Mhm.
I'm on a new path. Okay, what can I call? Okay, Kana Boy. From then, that's when I just
it rolls off the tongue.
started.
It's dope. It's dope.
So
It's such an easy name. It's easy to remember. It's easy to pronounce. Like you can't get it wrong. You really can't get it wrong. And I love that. I dig the name. But like I said at the beginning, Ral, I appreciate you taking time to sit down and chat with me. Like, I know that you've got your life, you've got your schedule, but this podcast isn't what it is without the gracious people that come on. So I'm eternally grateful.
For me, I'm also like grateful, man. I really appreciate it for you having me here and for us, having this chat just to talk.
Yeah,
I really do appreciate it.
We just, it's my pleasure, honestly. And we're just about to wrap up. I think I only have about 2 more questions left. And the first one is, how would you like to be remembered? Like, what legacy would you love to leave? Do you even think about that, or you just here trying to make good music for as long as you can?
For me, honestly, like on the music side, like it's something I love doing, like to an extent that if you can have critics, like people can say this. For me, it doesn't like that. Those things don't get to me because honestly, I'm not. When I make this beat, I'm not making this beat thinking about you who's criticizing me.
Yeah,
I'm making
it's fulfilling for you
me.
when you complete the project.
It's for me when
I
finish it. Like it's something that I don't know how many projects that I have pressed delete when I'm even halfway. Like I'm making it, I'm halfway. Then I just tell myself, nah, I can do better. Delete. I start again. You understand? So I'm making it for me. So it's not something I use like I wanna be. Oh, I'm making this for. It's something I make out there, but besides that, just on the music side, I can just say for me, I want to be remembered like when a person remembers me on the music side, like just being like a great music creator, like someone who really like was hands on his work, like who always had these top sounds he created. So yeah.
I dig that. It's simple. It's not a lot.
Yeah, like
a lot of people want to take over the
really
world, but you just want to be
to.
remembered for someone who was on point with his work,
Yeah,
easy to work with.
Yeah, obviously, I really want to work with like some of the like top artists, like
Of course,
who are really,
of course. That is the dream.
Yeah, that's one of my dreams. Like for me, my dream is just to, I don't know, to see maybe a video of a performance, whichever artist would that be, just to see maybe a full stadium just singing along to his or her song, but which I produced. Like that's just one thing when I watch other artist shows and you see a crowd going crazy it's just like something I just look at like, man, one day I just want that to be my record, like to be my beat which I made, which people will be going crazy on like this. So yeah.
Those are fair dreams, bro. Those are fair dreams. And like I said earlier, I really do hope that God blesses you in that way. I really do hope God blesses you in that way.
Yeah, just gotta keep working hard and
keep working, keep praying, and God definitely will take care of the rest. And I love that. Can't wait to see you grow for sure. And I think my last question now, I think, would be, and I know a couple of people do tune into this podcast, people in different spaces, people wanting to do different things. For yourself, when you look at your journey now, coming into 6 years, what advice would you give someone who is thinking of not just being in a creative space, but thinking probably to be in music, specifically music production? What advice would you give them before they, jump into this interesting world?
Well, firstly, what I can say is it's not easy. Like, it's really not easy. You got to work hard. It's like, I know you hear this like from a lot of people who will be saying, oh my God, but it's really true. Like, you really have to work hard because it's not, you don't just wake up and, make a song and boom. Now you have to work hard. Like, you really have to work hard. Yes, you have ups and downs. Like, sometimes you even think of like, is it worth it? Or but if it's something you really like, really love to do, you have to work hard. And like we talked about, like it's all up in here. Like your mindset. You have to train. You have to You have to train your mindset. Like to be strong and to be willing to be knocked down and get up and keep moving, and anything is possible. I think if I have to say, I would probably say a lot of things, but I think those are the most things. Like, you really have to just know, like, you have to work hard. Like, it's not easy. You have to work hard, like really hard, to improve your skill. Like we said, every day. Like, if it's something you say you love, every day you just gotta give it time, work hard, and train your mindset. Have a routine, train your mindset, like improve your skills, and talk to people also. Ask questions.
It's important to keep people in your circle. I think.
Talk to people.
I think that one is an important one. Networking. I think you mentioned you guys are in a group and there's a bunch of musicians and there's a bunch of
and like you just gotta be careful, like to or the people who are surrounding you, because at the same time you have to protect your energy. Because there's a time you can have someone you can really connect with, you call your friend, but they do not have the best interests like for you. And for you'll be thinking like, then it can really shut you down. So you just gotta be careful, but you definitely need to talk to people and network and stuff like that. So those are some of the
good
challenges.
Advice. Good advice, Chief. I appreciate that a lot. Now I know for sure that the people tuning in would appreciate what you've said. I personally have learned a lot, and for me, it's sometimes it's things that I've heard before, but I do feel like God continues to allow people to repeat these things to me, because I haven't mastered them yet, and I need to. So I appreciate when people come through and they're like, routine. I'm like, routine that guarantees routine. Since primary school, I've been told routine. But it's because you haven't mastered it, and I appreciate that. It's simple concepts, It's simple concept, but we continue to.
It's really hard to have a routine, because some of us, we still even struggle, man. Like, you struggle, like, to really, but it's something really important. Like, as a human being, you.
It's not impossible. It's very possible.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Kana Boy, for joining us on the show today.
Man. Thanks for having me, man.
It's been a true pleasure and honor, and I hope that we can stay in touch, continue to grow together, and hopefully meet sometime in the future for real. I think that would be dope.
All right, that would be dope, man. Or even next time we sit down to have a chat like this, we should be on another stage.
Another level.
So,
yes, I dig that. Maybe when you win your first award or whatever, we bring you back on. Or like, hey, how you feeling now?
I hope so.
Definitely. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do that. Thank you so much.
All right. You take care, man.